You are stuck in the last video game you played. How fucked are you? Well, fuck. I just started Subnautica, and I'm not that great a swimmer. I was in the middle of the nether, and just hit a zombie piglin. Flight Simulator 2020, so not very. At least I'm free to still travel the world. Control. I'm not very far into the game yet, but far enough to not wanting to get stuck here. Hitman. Not very. I'd basically be on vacation in some beautiful exotic locale while a bald murder guy does his business. As long as I stay out of his way and avoid wearing a useful outfit, it's all good. Goat Simulator. So the answer to this question depends if I'm in Wales or not. Sims 3. So not fucked at all. It's possible to get by spending very little money, no one ever gets mugged, and jobs are guaranteed. Persistence is rewarded. I would be able to save up while living safely and eventually get my own home. Yeah, I'd be just fine. Path of Exile. I'll be the god-killing holder of phenomenal cosmic power, but also die to random one-shots from regular monsters a lot. Skyrim. Not very. I'll definitely be one of those villagers that heads indoors during a dragon attack, and not one that charges at the beast, armed with a butter knife. Infamous Second Son. I think I would be okay. I live in the Seattle area, so I would know where I was going, but I would probably still die. Overwatch. So I'm getting shat on constantly from multiple sides whilst I hear a faint and late "let's break it down" in the distance. I own the transport company in the fictional square British country, operating from 1850 to this day without going bankrupt. Probably doing well, I guess. GTA 5. I was Michael DeSanta/Townley. I have a 7-figure sum in the bank, a lovely house in the Rockford Hills with a pool and a tennis court, and a load of different weapons I can pull out of thin air. I seem to have a map at the corner of my vision that lets me know of any dangers to myself. They show as red dots. I seem to remember events before they happen, and any time I do die I either seem to reset time to a point just before my demise, or I wake up in a hospital 10 hours later. Lately I've been going around in my mini submarine, finding things on the seabed. I've already cleaned up the radioactive barrels, so it's money and additions to the arsenal. The weather is good most of the time, and there's plenty to see and do. I'm doing just fine. Well, I hate gardening, am allergic to hay, and farming for a living seems like a lot of laborious work. So my perspective is pretty fucked, but there'd be lots of local singles to occupy oneself with. SDV. Depends on if you count phone games. If so, I would be stuck in Pokemon Go, since I usually have it running in the background while I work. If not, World of Warcraft, AFK in Elysian Hold. It is pretty, but I would probably be sick from all the durian/purian fruit. I'm doing okay. Yes, it's the post-apocalyptic landscape. I have to deal with radiation poisoning and ghouls, but luckily I've got a decent set of power armor with backup power cores. Also a decent arsenal including a fat man with a few mini nukes. Fallout 4. Well, I just promised my citizens better housing and praised the religious faction, and I don't think I have any money to build more houses nor churches. So, a little bit screwed. SWTOR. I don't feel very optimistic about shore living, but there are certainly worse games to be stuck in. At least I have a respectable enough chance to survive. Really depends on where I am. Well, now I've got to fly a fighter plane during the Second World War to protect carrier strike groups and capture useless islands that can launch planes. On the bright side, I get infinite lives, so that's good. Very fucked, not because of danger, but because it was a goofy hentai RPG a friend told me about. I quite literally would be very fucked, lol. It's called Harem Collector. It's honestly a pretty good game plot and gameplay wise. Totally accurate battle simulator. The natives all think I'm the enemy. Fortunately, my slightly below average athleticism allows me to easily outmaneuver them, and their tactics are worse than a horde of zombies, so it's not too bad. Then they start breaking out the ranged units, and the discount Zeuses, then the Valkyries, then the ice giants. I'll probably be horribly murdered by the second or third day. Sonic Mania. I hold on to Sonic and Tails while I'm being transported to this strange place. We also managed to grab my laptop. My phone is in my pocket and my headphones. I faint. Later I wake up in this food area. Sonic and Tails are ordering chili dogs non-stop, and there is classic Sonic 2. Putting all the pieces together, I'm inside the game. I can view what is outside, but it suddenly goes black. I think I can get us out of here. We have internet, but there is something bothering me. Tails states, if our classic versions of ourselves are here, how are you here? I don't know. It's like some weird meta shit. I counter. Part 2 coming soon. Sims, but more specifically a save with 9 generations that have been born, so I know none of the town is. My 9th generation heir is a child, but she has a younger brother and another sibling on the way, so unless I could get in as a nanny, I have no real way to hang out with the heir's family. If mobile games count, it's Star Wars, Galaxy of Heroes, in which case I'm probably playing the Holotables and doing tournaments for money. If they don't count, then it's Castlevania, Dawn of Sorrow. I don't think anything really changes then. I think that game's set in the future? 2023 IRC. If so, that means all of Smash Ultimate's DLC is out, and I'm playing the heck out of that. I'm tried to move into a small town surrounded by a lake, but my name doesn't end in son, so they kicked me out. Another town almost had me killed, cause I was a dude. Then on my way to another town, I was approached by a man wanting to sell bananas who then tried to kill me when I declined. Apparently they mistook me for another guy. In any case, when I finally made it to that town, I went to have my clothes dyed and was greeted by an underweight Pennywise. I give up. Now I make a living by setting up people to be attacked by weak pig monsters so I can save them and they'll give me free shit. Living my best life. Guess I'm a Brazilian man with music that either has the effect of crack cocaine and acts as an accelerant, or has the effect of a painkiller and acts as a healing substance. I also have a burst automatic handgun, which is essentially a megaphone slash speaker that bursts the eardrums of my enemies and can launch them back with the force of a SUV hitting them full on. I'm a little too obsessed with rollerblades and sex jokes, and I can break the laws of physics and run on walls. I'm short and generally pretty weak, but damn I didn't skip leg day. Give me your best guess. It's pretty obvious. Dragon Quest 11th. I'm pretty sure I'm fucked. On the surface the worlds of Dragon Quest don't seem that scary, but when you actually look at the reality in these games you'll see that instead of zombies, humans are forced to cower in walled off villages slash cities from hostile monsters. Humans basically live in a monster apocalypse in these games. It's awful. RimWorld with Randy Random as a storyteller on Merciless. I'm either going to have a nice life of tending to my garden and relaxing until the murder bots show up, be drowned in the sea of 20 beagles that suddenly join me, having to pick which ones to cull due to lack of food, then have the murder bots show up, or a bunch of mercenaries bomb slash raid what's left of my settlement as the murder bots drop from orbit onto my home. Lord of the Rings Online. I'll split my time between my Breland cottage and my Gonda mansion in my kinship's island, with many visits to the Prancing Pony and other pubs around Middle-earth. Probably steer clear of endgame areas, unless I'm sure there isn't a mortality issue with being stuck there. Probably do a lot of fishing. Farming Simulator 17. Nothing much has changed. I still aimlessly drive around wondering what I'm doing with my life after 5 straight hours of driving back and forth over my fields. But instead of just losing some virtual money, when I get drunk and drive my new tractor into lakes trying to launch over shit, I actually risk severe maiming and probable death. Also the bees I keep sting the shit out of me when I crash into their house. Madden, I'm an up and coming football star QB who seems destined to start, no matter how good the QB ahead of him is, and will no matter what be an all-time great. Sounds nice until you realize all I can do is play football games, practice football, text my teammates and coaches generic questions and answers about football from the locker room. Occasionally if I'm lucky I may be able to go somewhere, but it's most likely with my agent and I have a strange feeling I have no control of where we go or what I do there, and even stranger, no matter how long we are there according to clocks or the rotation of the sun it feels like I'm only there for a few minutes. Sometimes I leave and black out for a long period of time with just darkness in between football games. It is hell. Apex Legends. I probably live on Harmony or something and never even see the Apex games because a Hunger Games style show hosted by war criminals and mercenaries is probably not where I'd be. Wizard of Legend. Since I'm not a wizard, I would probably pop by the Chaos Trials Museum for fun, but otherwise my life would be largely the same. Resident Evil 7. Oh god, oh fuck. Even if I'm not anywhere around the Baker household, I don't wanna live in a world where Umbrella Corp exists, cause it's only a matter of time before they ruin my life. Or Stellaris. I'm likely enslaved by some Xenos. Probably being farmed as livestock or something. Fuck.